What's up guys, and welcome back to Empire Total War, where last week we left it off with this absolute raging army just that has appeared, French army that came all the way from Brest over here and has approached Paris. So we're going to have to try and see them off. Our army is not in the best of shape after taking Paris. We did sustain quite a few losses, so hopefully they are replenishing, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough before they attack us. So what I'm hoping is that they don't just attack us immediately. I'm hoping that they actually like siege us and wait for a turn, so we have time to bring some of our reinforcements from over here over to Paris, because at the moment we just can't get anywhere near Paris. So yeah, we're kind of in a bit of a situation. Hopefully we can hold off. Even if they attack us, we do have the walls, so we do have a pretty decent chance of beating them. They have a lot of militia. They do have some horses and some cannons, so it could be a pretty close battle. They are bringing these guys from down here as well. Some absolutely massive 24-pounder cannons that are going I don't want to face, to be honest. So yeah, it's looking a bit 50-50 at the moment as to whether we can keep Paris. I'm hoping that we can, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with it. As for America, nothing really has happened recently. We got rid of that French army that was kind of being annoying around here, so we've got rid of them, and we can then now have a look at possibly moving up and try and take Fort de Chartres up here in upper Louisiana, and also these guys over here in Villa de Bexar. Yeah, one of those we can possibly go and look at taking them. And India is looking much more stable now that we've secured Mysore here last week. That was what we managed to do. We saw off the army that was besieging us in Arcot for the last like 6 turns. We eventually got rid of them, and in doing so, they kind of left Mysore completely open. So we wandered in and took it. And that was pretty much all that happened last week. I mean, it is some pretty hefty gainage, given that we managed to secure all of France. But how long we can hold on to that, I'm not sure. The other thing I was going to do is fucking hell, frame rates all over the place. But yeah, I think Istanbul is looking like we could we could possibly look at taking it. They're not fully. I mean, they have a full army, but part of it, about a third of it, is town guard. So you know they're not going to be the hardest of opposition. But we also don't have the best of units over here. It is a lot of just militia, and that's about it, to be honest. We've not even got the ability to recruit anyone that great, because Sofia isn't actually all that well equipped to supply us with units. Down here in Athens, we do have a much better looking army, and the ability to recruit some much better looking units as well. So we might look at taking units from Athens and joining with some of our units from Sofia and attacking Istanbul in a turn or so. But as for now, I'm going to leave it be, just because we don't have the units to do it immediately, and we don't have the money to recruit anyone yet. The other issue as well is if we do take on Istanbul, we're going to have to watch out what they do over here in Bosnia. If they send troops towards Sofia, or even down here towards Athens. I don't want to lose Athens. It's a very strong city. If we lose it, then it's going to be a very tough time trying to take it back. It was a very tough time trying to take it from the Greeks in the first place. So yeah, don't want to lose that anytime soon. Not sure what's going to go on here. I would be surprised if the French don't attack Milan, but at the same time, they do probably want to try and get Paris back, so they might send some of the units north, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. I'm going to say as well, I have noticed over the last couple of videos, especially yesterday's video, the FIFA one, my microphone's been very weird. Like it seems to have a lot of, it occasionally gets static that kind of builds up over a period of like a minute or so, and then just like you get a pop and then it's back to fine again. So if that's happening in this video, then I'm sorry. I don't really know what to do about it. I've tried unplugging and replugging everything in again, so hopefully that fixes it. But if it is happening, then sorry, and I'll try and fix it in the future, but I'm not really sure what's causing it, so I don't know how to fix it. But if it is happening, then again, sorry. Not much I can do, to be honest. That's pretty much everything. So yeah, we're going to end turn. Hopefully everything goes well for us in this turn, and we come out the other end of it still holding on to France. Right, so they have attacked us, and they are... Yeah, I'm gonna have to fight this myself. They have more units than us, but not that many more, to be honest. They've only got about, like, 50 more men than us, not even that, so... I don't know why the game's showing it as being such a one-sided battle towards them. I think, given that we still have the upper ground of having a fort, I think we still stand a decent chance. So we're going to have to fight this ourselves and see if we can see them off. I really don't want to be losing Paris this early on. Having taken it only like a turn ago. Really don't want to lose it. So hopefully we can see these bastard Frenchmen off. Right, so we have 3 horsemen. That is about all that I can see here. Oh, there we go. Here's the rest of our army. So we have a load of, like, pikemen and these clansmen who can't go on the walls, so they're basically useless. It'd be nice if we had some sort of level of visibility here, to be honest, as well. It's extremely washed out. There is still a hole in the wall. Why is there a hole in the wall? If I look, when I clicked on Paris on the map, the walls were fine. They weren't needing repair, but apparently we still have a hole in the wall. Well, that has significantly put a biscuit in the soup, and we're going to have to see if we can hold out with this massive hole. I mean, I'm not going to make the mistake that the French did when we were attacking them and just come charging out of the hole into death. I will let them come charging through the hole into death, hopefully. But I'm thinking it's possibly a better idea if we sort of block up the hole somehow. Put our units here and then put in some cavalry spikes. Possibly the best option. Right, what I've done here is, I believe, sheer genius. I've put all my troops on the outside and deployed a shit ton of cavalry spikes on the outside of the wall. And then on the inside, I've got my units here with a little, like, defense for bullets, so they can kind of fire back and hopefully not get hit by too many shots. And what I'm going to do is, as soon as I start the battle, bring all these guys back in. So there's just going to be a load of spikes in front of the hole, which should stop any cavalry charging through. And then if troops come through and try and get over the spikes, then they'll be getting bombarded with loads of gunfire from in here. And I'm going to put all my men up on the walls, and hopefully the cannons can shoot down on them as well. I believe this is absolute genius. Whether it'll work, I have no idea, because I've never tried it before. So hopefully it works out, and we actually manage to hold this on. I think it's probably the best option we have. Where basically, if I could, this is going to be trench warfare. Like, I would be building trenches along here. It's the only way I think we're going to defend that hole, is to just hope that we can use our cannons wisely and see off any units that decide that they're going to try and come and get in the hole. Right, where are they coming from? Right, so they are coming from this direction. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to send these guys, I'm going to put them along this wall here, and hopefully the cannons there they'll be able to use to shoot the enemy before they get up this direction, before they get too close to the hole. I think as well, if this gets breached, if cavalry do somehow manage to get through here, then I'll just put all my pikemen along here and hopefully that should see off all the cavalry. But I think units like infantry is probably the most dangerous to let them get in. Alright, apparently we've got a load of troops on the outside of the wall, that's nice. Could you swiftly... It's the bloody drummers! What are you doing? Get your arse inside! Just casually standing on the outside of the wall. Do we have any other units just casually standing on the outside of the wall for no apparent reason? That looks alright. Right, the French have made it. Right, apparently we've got a bunch of pikemen just standing in a circle up here. Not sure what they're doing. Right, so that hasn't really stopped them. It's slowed them down, but I don't think it's stopped them. And we shall use these guys and plug the gap. I'm not sure what these guys are going to do. I think they're climbing this wall. So we're going to try and come across here, which is a bit of a bold strategy. Not sure whether it'll pay off for them or not. This is an absolute cluster that's going on up here. Those guys have already decided that they've had enough and they're running away. Oh, this is looking dangerous over here. Right, those French are running away, so if you guys could get back, help out, hold the other gates, that'd be nice. The cavalry's running around like a bit of a headless chicken, not knowing what's going on. We've got more soldiers here now attacking us at the gate. Well, the hole, the breach. We shall send these guys back in again. Wait, what? What is this? Oh, well that is taking the royal piss right there. They've like breached a hole in this and somehow they've managed to now charge the... Oh my word. Pikemen, turn around. Turn around now. I mean, they've charged pikemen, which is a bit of a stupid thing to do, but they caught them very off guard. Frame rate is having an absolute nightmare. I'm not even sure why. It's interesting though, the frame rate's fine. Like, the camera movement's fine, it's just all the units are moving at like 1 frame per second, which is very, very odd, but anyway. Pikemen are doing a decent job, they have lost quite a few, but the cavalry are just falling very quickly. I think that was a full regiment of cavalry and they're already down to 25 men, so... Yeah, not the smartest of moves by them, but... Right, do you want to stop shooting at them, given that you're probably shooting your own men, and actually go and, like, use your swords or something? Right, so that cavalry's charging around there. Right, well I'm just going to go and take out your horses, like, your cannons then, if you're not going to be defending them in any way. Oh my word, they charged the spikes, and it doesn't seem to have worked out for them very well. Oh, that's brilliant. These artillery men here have been, like, they have just been... Right, they finally decided to run away. They've taken quite a beating before they eventually decided that enough was enough and that they were going to clear off. Right, I'm going to send the rest of my clansmen over there to help out, because this is getting dangerous now. If they secure this gate, the cavalry can get in, and we've not got that many pikemen left to defend it either. It's going to be a bit of a suicide job, because we're going to be throwing grenades at our own men, but hopefully in the process it takes out an absolute ton of the enemy. And not, like, hopefully they don't throw grenades at themselves as well, that'd be a bit annoying. Right, here we go. Grenades are about to get... Oh, they've thrown them at themselves. We have a load of men heading that way to fill the gap. That is pretty much it, to be honest. That's the only units that they have left. Hell, the Grenadiers just want to grenade themselves. Stop throwing grenades at yourselves! Bloody... It's like children! Okay, we've got about 100 men left. We are looking pretty likely to win this battle. Right, so... They're starting to run away. That's it. They're finally starting to think of running away now. I think that's it. I think we've won it. It was a big challenge, especially the fact we've got a gaping hole in our wall. Absolutely gaping hole. We somehow have managed to hold on to this. The French are... there's not many of them left. We've won. We've won. A heroic victory. It was a damn heroic victory. Defended a fort with a massive hole in the wall. I'll see if it actually shows up as there being a hole in the wall on the map, because the actual wall itself, like when you're looking at the buildings and being able to repair them, the wall doesn't have any damage. So I'm not sure how. Don't get there. Stop. Good. Thank God for that. Is it worth intercepting them? They have more men than us. 50-50. YOLO! Right, we won. That was definitely worth it. That was most certainly worth it. We lost 177 men. We have basically wiped them out. There's 213 of them left. There was 973. So yeah, that was definitely worth the interception opportunity. Right, wall doesn't need repaired, apparently. So why there's still a hole in it? No idea. And I've got no idea how to fix said hole. Anyway, right, we're gonna try replenishing. we need to get this army from over here into Paris as well. And that should help us hold Paris against this army here. And there was that army as well that went up into Le Havre. So, yeah, we're going to have to try and hold this again. It's not the last time we're going to have to try and hold Paris. These guys will try and attack us again. So hopefully we can continue holding it. Not sure what to do over here, to be honest. I'm thinking if I bring a ship around here, we can then drop them off next to Istanbul, drop off some troops and attack Istanbul that way, rather than trying to walk through, because it's going to take a turn or so to get to Istanbul from Athens anyway. It would be better probably to come in here and around and attack them that direction. So I'll take maybe half my army and we'll stick them... apparently we won't stick them on the ship. On the ship. For some reason the game's having an issue where if your troops are inside a city and you tell them to get on a ship, they can't do it, but then if you take them out of the city, then on the ship, it's perfectly fine. So I'm not sure what the issue is with that, but we've got them on the ship. They're heading over here to Burgas. Burgas. And we're going to link up with most of the army from Sofia. Not all of it. We'll leave some men behind just in case, because especially with Bosnia being an Ottoman-controlled territory, and there's an Ottoman army sitting right there. Not a very big one, but they could send troops that direction, try and take Bulgaria off us, which I'm not in the mood to lose. Not that it's a big loss, I just don't want to lose it. If we take our units here, link up with half of our army from here, and then we can attack Istanbul in next turn, which would be, I think, the best option, given that I'm at my absolute wit's end with them when it comes to how long it takes every time we end turn. They just sit there for ages doing absolutely sweet hee-haw. So I've had enough and I'm going to try and take them on. I'm not sure whether it's worth attacking this army in one go, like right now. It'd be nice if we possibly had an agent or something like that we could use to go and spy on them, but we don't have anyone nearby. So given that these guys have only got 9 men, I'm going to sacrifice them and send them out. I'm not going to attack, but I'll have a look, see what the numbers are. 858 men. We are getting reinforced with all the rest of our men. 858. We have 2,000 effectively. Right, you can run away. And we shall just attack them immediately. Auto-resolve. We win. We lost a lot of men. We did kill the army, but we lost a lot of men. More men than I'm willing to have let go, to be honest. That was a big loss. And we can't even get back in. Oh my god. That was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. Are you able to get in? Alright, okay, thank goodness for that. So we've got 1 man currently guarding Paris. We'll get these guys as well. This isn't a big loss. If we lose Amsterdam, we can always take it back. I really want to hold on to Paris, so I'm going to try and get as many men into Paris as we can. Just to get enough men into Paris, just to make sure that if somebody attacks them, they can't just walk straight in. We've got to at least try to fight us to get in. These guys, I think, are close enough that if anybody does attack us, they can reinforce. So hopefully that's hopefully that's going to hold it off. That was a pretty dangerous and bad move, I think, by me to attack these guys. We did get rid of quite a lot of them, and they have now cleared off. So I think the only army we really have to worry about are these guys here coming back, who I think there's only about 200 of them left. Yeah, roughly 200 of them left, and these guys up here, which are a much bigger army. But again, it's quite a lot of cavalry. So if we do have to fight it ourselves, I think we do stand a pretty decent chance. Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant. So after holding on to Arcot forever, it now looks as if we're pretty much guaranteed to lose it. We have 1,000 men. They have 2,255. Why it's so one-sided, I don't really know. I might just fight this myself. I'm going to fight this myself, and hopefully, my main task isn't actually to try and beat them. It's more to just try and take as many of them out as possible. If we can get rid of 1,000, if we can kill one for every man that we lose, then I'll be happy. If we can kill 1,000 of them and half their army size, then I would be quite happy with that, because we still have Mysore. And yeah, if we can take an army from there, we can always take Arcot back. It's just a case of trying to take as many of them out in the process of losing this place, because I don't think we're going to be able to hold on to it. If we can hold on to it, then that's brilliant, but I think it's pissing into the wind, to be quite honest. Let's get some cannonballs. Oh my word, look at the absolute amount of cannonballs flying, and more cannonballs are flying back our direction. Oh, hello. It'd be nice if you guys could turn your cannons, possibly. No, right. Well, they're all dead. It's been good knowing you, boys. It's been very good knowing you. Oh, their camels got absolutely ripped. Look at them all. Cannonball just went straight through them. I mean, to be fair, camels are about twice the size of a horse. Looking at them there. So they're a pretty big target to try and hit, and I don't think they're very quick either, so I'm not sure what the purpose of riding... Look at them, they're just getting absolutely riddled with cannon fire. They're getting a bit scared. They're, yeah, they're concerned, given that they've got cannonballs being shot at pretty much point-blank range straight into them. Right, their horses are now just running into the wall. It's an interesting tactic. Maybe they think they can knock it down. Not sure what their main purpose is. To be fair, this wall does have a pretty hefty overhang, which makes it very safe to just sit underneath the wall. It's probably the best place to be honest. It's where I would be, sitting under the wall, because there's nowhere like they're going to be able to get you. That's it, boys. That is how it's done. Forget about letting them up and then attacking them. We are, that typical Scotsman, we are taking the fight to them. Just get down that rope. Before they've even had a chance to climb the ropes, we're already on the way down. There is an absolute cluster going on inside this like gatehouse. We've got an absolute ton of enemies coming in and our clansmen at the other side. I'm just going to line my pikemen up ready for the inevitable... Oh, there apparently is some camel in already, so we'll just go and attack them. Somehow these ninja camels have made it through this gate. Don't know how they managed to capture it, but they've got themselves in through it, so... Line up into pike formation. Come on, a bit quicker than that. A bit quicker than that. Oh my word. Right, well all their cavalry are now running away because they realised that charging pikemen, not the best idea. Right, so now we're going to charge their cannons and their cavalry, and given that we still have quite a few pikemen, they are dying every now and then, they keep getting hit by cannonballs. But we do have like, what, 100? Like 120, 130 pikemen left. So, depending on how many are still alive by the time they get there, they stand a decent chance of taking out their cavalry. Alright, brilliant. They decided that they've run away. I mean, this is a suicide mission, boys. You're going to die. Stop running away. Right, well, I think this is pretty much the end. Hopefully we've killed enough of them, though. I mean, it was pretty much a guarantee we're going to lose that place, so I'm not sure it was ever in doubt, really. Right, they've run away as well. So, yeah, I don't think it was ever in doubt. I mean, given it's a close defeat, they had twice the number of men of us, so if we've killed more than 1,000 men, then that was a successful mission, I think. We killed 1,600 men. I mean, actually, we only killed 1,200. They killed 300 of their own men, so I'm not sure. I mean, it was a pretty stupid decision on their part, but there's only 630 of them left, so that now leaves us a perfectly open opportunity to just take Arcot straight back. Given as well, there's two massive holes in the wall, we should stand a very strong chance of walking straight in and taking it back. We have another intercept opportunity on the Dutch rebels. We shall take it, and well, we didn't kill as many as we did last time, but we have significantly reduced the numbers again. They keep trying to walk past, and every single time they keep getting absolutely ripped to pieces by our armies. So, we have finally ended that turn, and every place in the world has been raided. Oh, don't do that. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold on to this place, because this isn't a big loss. It really isn't a big loss. It's annoying that we lost it, because like they have some pretty decent like farms and plantations and stuff to make money, but it's really, in the great scheme of things, we have made a pretty decent trade. If we lost Arcot and take Mysore, this is the better place to have. So I'm not that bothered about the loss, to be honest, and we will take it back in the future. It's just a bit annoying more than anything else. I think what we'll start doing is we'll actually start recruiting a second army, and then we'll send them up into Calcutta or Cuttack and take one of them. Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen with India. Well, fingers crossed we take everything else. As for over here, we have a battle of Istanbul to face, so we'll drop off our army, drop them off, and merge them with them. Right, we can't merge them with them. So attack. Right, who are they allied with? Persia, Sweden, Barbary Straits, France. We're already at war with France. Sweden, not a big deal. I think they're already almost on their last legs. They've also got Russia to be worried about. We have Austria and Russia on our side as well. I think Austria will be extremely... Well, they're already enemies. Both of them are already enemies with the Ottomans, so they're pretty much guaranteed to join us. Sweden, don't know who these guys are. Not that bothered. Barbary Straits are a bit of an interesting one. They're down here. And we have Morocco, so it is possible they might start attacking Morocco. I think we could potentially start looking at moving this direction anyway. We've not really done much. After we took Morocco, we basically just left it to be. So we might start building another army there and move up the Barbary Straits and try and take as much of that as possible as well. So we'll declare war on them. Right, so Sweden have broken an alliance with the Ottomans. They haven't joined. We lost our trade agreement with Persia, so the Persians have joined. And the Mamelukis. Anyway, they have joined as well. We have been joined by Austria and Russia. As I said, they were already enemies. That was basically a given. And yeah, we are now going to attack. We shall continue our siege here, and we shall bring our second army and attack as well. And we have effectively 3,500 men, and they have 1,700 and a lot of cannons. Oh my word, an Oregon gun. I want one of those. Right, anyway, it's a pretty one-sided battle. Auto-resolve that. We win. We lost 1,000 men. We did kill every single last one of them, though. But that was quite a heavy loss. Anyway, we've taken Istanbul. And, yeah, that's pretty decent, I would say. That's a very decent gain. Istanbul is a very strong strategic position as well, given that it's basically the gateway to the Middle East. So it gives us a very strong position of stopping anything coming this direction. So even though the Ottomans still have Bosnia, any Ottoman army that wants to come this direction has to go through Istanbul, and unless they get on a fleet and come over this way, which is entirely possible, any army marching has to go through us. So yeah, I think it's probably a pretty decent position to hold. We will try and take Ankara probably next week. We'll look at taking Ankara, and we'll try and possibly go and try and take Bosnia as well. And yeah, that'll get rid of the Ottoman. Quite a significant section of the Ottomans. They will still have all this, and Crimea as well. But I'd really just want to get rid of them. They've just been an absolute nightmare recently. I've probably wasted about like an hour of my life waiting on them finishing turns every single time I end turns. So yeah, they're just so frustrating that I just wanted to get rid of them. But I think we've actually been a pretty decent week. So I'm going to end the video. And yeah, I think it's been a very decent week. I think holding on to Paris has been very successful against what was effectively two armies attacked us. Both times we managed to hold them off. We also managed to get rid of these guys pretty heavily as well. The Dutch rebels kept trying to walk past us, and we weren't having any of it. So yeah, as for India, we did make a loss in India. We did lose Arcot, but again, as I said, as the frame rate reaches a new low, yeah, we did lose Arcot, but it's not the worst loss in the world. We did gain Mysore last week, which is still the better place to have. And going forward, I think we will probably look at taking one of these places, which I've been saying for the last like 3 weeks we're going to try and take one of them. It's just not worked out in any way, but I think if we build an army down here, nothing can go wrong down here, I don't think. So once we have our army, which is going to take 2 turns, we'll have half an army, which I think is probably enough to take one of them. I went up there and had a look. I mean, at this point it was like 3 or 4 years ago. But we went up and had a look, and it was looking pretty lean in the number of enemies inside these number of units inside these cities. So I think we do stand a pretty decent chance with a decent army. So I think maybe 3 turns, 4 at the most, and we'll have an army big enough to go and take on one of these places. I think 3 turns would be probably enough. But yeah, India's not too bad, and we obviously just took over Istanbul as well. So we've gained all of this. Like, we basically have all of this part of Europe down, sort of next to the Med and the Black Sea as well. We've secured all of this now. So yeah, and I think if we take Bosnia, there's really not much else to do in this part because it's all owned by the Austrians, which I look forward to the day we're going to have to take on the Austrians. I mean, look at the size of them. I mean, we have a lot. I mean, we're probably the biggest army, like biggest nation here, right? Yeah. So the Austrians are actually the biggest in terms of everything. They have a lot, like a bigger navy than us. They have a lot better economics apparently, and their enlightenment is much better as well. We have the biggest army though. Our navy's not as good. We're not as great economically, and our enlightenment's not great either. I'm not sure how we can get our enlightenment better. We have a lot of technologies, and we're researching a lot more as well. So in a few turns we should have a lot more technologies, but yeah, I'm not really sure. Can we upgrade you? Oh, you're too expensive. Yeah, I'm not sure how we get our enlightenment to the level of the Austrians, but hopefully one day we will. So yeah, we look pretty strong at the moment, and it's been a video of just trying to hold on to what we've got, and we did a decent job in Europe and a pretty average job in India. But I think all in all, I think it's been a very positive week. So anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe as well if you're new around here and want to keep up to date with all my stuff. Then hit that big subscribe button down below, and I'll catch you guys next week, where we'll I don't know what we'll do. Probably try and continue tackling the Ottomans, and possibly try and take Brussels as well. So yeah, if you want to keep up to date with that, then hit that subscribe button. And I've absolutely ruined this outro. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Cheerio.